Tessie. Good evening, everyone. How are you all doing tonight? So basically, we welcome you to our councilors debate for Ward number 4. My name is Connor LaRock, along with board members, part of the GSTA. We work diligently to organize this opportunity for you, the taxpayer, to have a choice to meet and learn about the people who want to represent you for the next 4 years. We feel that informed vote is the best way to ensure that your city of Greater Sudbury can move forward in a fiscally prudent, accountable, and transparent manner. The GST has been here since 2001. Its objectives are to maximize the value of the taxpayer, keep you guys informed, focus all the cares and services, as well as promote transparency. Please listen carefully to the debate and feel free to submit your questions. So I'd just like to introduce the moderator tonight, which is Jerry LaBelle. That was a little bit short. Good evening and welcome. I'm not going to put this here now. Welcome to the candidates debate this evening. I just want to go through the procedures so that everybody knows what's happening. They're going to be asked to give you a 2-minute opening remarks and introduction. And I'd like the people to tell us what they do as well when they introduce themselves, because at the first one I still don't know what anybody did. So I don't know what these people do for a living. So they're 2 minutes for an opening statement, and they've already determined in a draw. So who's first? Who's second? You're going to be number one. Okay, good. You're number one, eh? Then also we ask the other candidates not to interrupt the other candidates during the opening and closing statements. Very, very important that everybody's respectful. There'll be a series of questions asked as we go along, and after the candidates have given each of their answers, there'll be a chance for them to rebuttal as well and to comment on each other's comments. I'm God here, so if I say shut up, I mean shut up. If it's over, it's over. And please also, the audience, please be respectful. You are given a chance to ask questions, so please write your questions on a piece of paper and hand them forward. And we don't want duplication, and we don't want questions that are basically singling out an individual. We want questions that are looking at what's good for the city. So any questions of a questionable nature, let's go on the questions there. Questions of a questionable nature will not be read out loud. You will have a chance at the end of the evening to come and speak to these people individually if you want to. Same with the candidates. We look at them, the respectful rebuttal, and keep it clean. No punching below the belt, okay? The order in which we begin, we're going to ask Madame Evelyne Frizak to begin. Would you like the microphone, or are you going to speak?
I'll stand up.
You're going to stand up?
Yes, I like to. Bonsoir, good evening. I'm Evelyne Dutrisac, and I'm the incumbent. I've been councillor for the last 2 terms. In my experience, I was a high school teacher. J'étais une enseignante à l'école secondaire Rayside. Puis à l'école Champlain. I was a high school teacher for 33 years. And I've always been involved in politics. I was the councillor for Rayside Balfour for 2 terms, and I'm the incumbent for the last 2 terms. I would like to thank Jerry. I want to thank the Greater Sudbury Taxpayers Association for organizing the debates. I think this is a democracy, and when we have an election, it's very important for people to get to know the candidates that are running in the ward. A special welcome to all of you, and I thank you for attending the debate. I think this is democracy. C'est très important que les gens qui sont ici puissent poser des questions puis vraiment connaître les candidats. I also want to thank my family. I have my husband, my daughter, and my son, and my son-in-law is here also. So I'm really happy that they're here supporting me. I'm honored to have represented and served you for the last 2 terms. I am passionate and I enjoy working with the residents of my ward. As I've indicated, I'm retired from teaching, and I have time to devote to my many responsibilities and the many committees that I am a member of. My major roles are to listen, to understand the needs, to be positive, and to work closely with the residents to improve the quality of life of our community. For me, transparency and accountability, communication with residents, and with staff are extremely important in this position if we are going to be working closely with the people. The City of Greater Sudbury has many challenges. I've met in the last 2 years and throughout all of my life, I've met and worked closely with the residents and with city staff to solve the many issues that are affecting our communities. I meet with residents. First of all, I get a call. I meet with the residents, and then I often facilitate a meeting with staff. I think that communication with staff and with the other councillors, I see we have Councillor Dupuis here, and there are other candidates running for the mayoralty race.
Councillor.
Okay, well, I will, as I say, it's very important for me to meet with people and to work closely with you in solving the issues that are a major concern to work for.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So we're going to put the flag first in the back. The yellow flag means you have 30 seconds, red flag means you start.
I didn't see it. I'm going
No, and who's the second one?
That's me.
Okay. And that's
Frank Kazoo.
Frank, that's what Kazoo.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for taking the time and coming out. I've got 2 minutes. I'm going to go quick. I guess the big question is, why is Frank Kazoo running for council? Number one is I care. I care about our community. I care about the issues in the city. I'm a businessman. I've been on council before in Onaping Falls. Graduate of Laurentian University, worked for the NOHA, worked down in California for a few years on a hockey league, worked for the British government for 7 years. I now work for a pharmaceutical company, Janssen Pharmaceutical. And my wife and I built Jungle Gym Gymnastics. We started here in Zilda from scratch, and it's now a big, thriving business in Sudbury. Employs 15 people, pays lots and lots of city taxes, and it's a fantastic facility. That's probably the biggest privately owned sporting complex ever built in the Sudbury region, not 1 penny of taxpayer dollars. So I've got business experience, got council experience, and the reason I'm running, as I said, is I care, and I'm not happy with what I've seen on council for the last 4 years. That's why we have 70 people or so running for council and for mayor this year. A lot of unhappy people. I come from an environment with this corporation I work with now that really promotes mutual respect, collaboration, and innovation. And if you don't have those things, starting at the top with the mayor and the councillors, it's pretty hard to move forward. And we definitely did not have that in the last 4 years. So I'm a person who is a leader. I get things done. I like working with people. I have lots of energy, and I have a lot of good ideas that I can bring to the city. I think I can contribute. I think my resume speaks for itself, and that's who I am. Thank you. Thanks.
Our third candidate, Pleasure 5.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pleasure 5. I've decided to run for politics because I'm tired. I'm tired of what's going on. I'm tired of them not getting along at that table. I'm tired of the mayor not being supported. I'm tired of paying high taxes. I'm tired of our roads. I'm tired of the barricades in Sudbury just to go and get a building permit or to build a house or to build a business in Sudbury. We have a beautiful business in the Zilda, the dog pound. They're going to lose their job. Why? Because they're going to give it to a big company instead of keeping our local company in the Zilda. We need businesses in the Zilda. We need to stop this development fee, which is well worded. I call it homeowner's fee. I don't call that development fee because it's not the developer that pays. It's the young family that's coming to build a house, and they're building a house and they're paying $16,000 for a building permit. That is terrible. What's going on? What happened in the last 10, 12, 14 years in Sudbury for this to happen to us? And they're laughing at us. you know, it's terrible. Everybody complains, nobody does nothing about it. I decided to stand and do something about it, okay? Like, I'm a busy person, I'm a businessman, I run the business, I've helped so many kids to come out of the, like, that have such a hard time, nobody would give them a chance, and I gave them a chance, and I actually, you know, develop them into something special, so I can work with people. I've been working with people all my life, you know? We have the best builders in Sudbury, but we are destroying them. We are, it's gonna be, we're just not gonna build any more houses in Sudbury. We have a lot of talent in Sudbury, we have rocks, we have, you know, many things. And no, we're gonna charge them $16,000 extra, and then they're gonna go in and try to build a house and blast some rocks, and, you know, work very hard at it. Anyway, I would like to thank you all for coming tonight, and hopefully we do good. Good luck.
Thank you very much. We have a series of 4 questions, advanced debate questions, which were supplied to the candidates. We're going to ask the questions, and we're going to go, the first question we ask the first person, then the next person, then the second question will start with the second person. So not everybody's always first, not always, the same person not always last as well. So the first question is going to go to, we'll start with Evelyn. What would you do to attract business and development to the city of Greater Sudbury?
Well, I sit on council, and I meet with the developers and the business people. There are issues that have to be dealt with. I agree. It takes sometimes 3 years or 3 months to answer our developers and our business people. We need businesses, we need to develop the community. However, we need to work with staff, but also work with the developers and the business people, the economic business people. And what I do is I get calls. I get calls every day. I can testify to that, about people that are discontent. They do not get an answer for the development that they're doing or the business that they're doing. And there are staff that are answering people, but there are other staff that don't answer. And people call me and we meet. I facilitate the meeting. I definitely agree that we need new business, we need development. We've frozen the development charges for 2 years. The new council that will be elected will be reviewing this. I'm hearing in the community, we have to pay for growth related to new development. But if it costs you $17,000 before you start building your home, well, a lot of people, and we had meetings with the developers, and what we're finding is that they just can't make it anymore. They're not selling their home, and there's no market out there because the cost is too expensive. The youth cannot buy the home, and they're finding a lot of difficulties. I have been on this council for 8 years, and I meet our developers and our business people. I am a business person myself, and I firmly believe that we need to be open for business. That's what's all happening.
Thank you.
I'll talk about it.
Je m'excuse pour ceux qui sont français. J'ai fait mon premier 2 minutes en français, je m'excuse, mais on a seulement 2 minutes, fait que je vous laisser savoir. Je parle français, je suis bilingue. Okay, in terms of development, yeah, I'm a businessman too, and I stopped my expansion of my business because it's just too expensive. By the time you get shovel in the ground, you know, you're in $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, and that's a lot of money for a business to make up. So something has to be done with development, at least. I hear it from everybody I talk to. And then when you go and deal with the city, it's not a helpful, friendly, and collaborative environment. They just could be a whole lot more helpful and friendly. I think, and I've talked to some of the candidates before who are here, and it starts from the top, and you have to have leadership at the top. The mayor first, and then with support from the council. Let the developers know, let the businesses know, hold meetings, do what you need to do. You have to get people engaged and you have to inform them. If there are things going on that they don't know about, if you can get them information, it makes things a whole lot easier. That's being proactive rather than reactive. And it starts there. Can't fix everything at one time? Absolutely not. But you have to start with leadership, and that's what we have not had in the last 4 years. And as I said, you get a good, strong leader with council behind them, and you can make things happen. If things have to be shaken up at City Hall with staff, that's done, okay? But at least the citizens of Sudbury will see that there's a cohesive leadership that is strong. Businesses see that. Businesses won't be going to Sault Ste. Marie or North Bay. They'll be staying in Sudbury because we'll talk to them, we'll work with them, and we'll show them a reason that they need to stay in Sudbury.
How can we bring businesses in Sudbury? Right now, we can't. My cousin building a building on the Kingsway, a new car lot, and she's paying $32,000 development charge. Who's got that kind of money to start a business? You know, then she has to sell cars, she has to make money. I know we could talk about this all night, but you know what? This council that we had in the last 8, 10, 12 years, they're the ones who brought this in. And if we bring the same people that we had in the last 4 years, again this time, it's not going to work again. It hasn't worked.
Sorry, could you answer the question, please?
Yes.
The question is, how will you bring development to the Sudbury?
Oh, sure, sure. Okay. Well, that's how you do it. Anyway, so we need new ideas. We need new people. We need to eliminate. I promise you, I will eliminate development charge. We do not need development charge. That is something that we do not need in Sudbury, and that will bring the business in Sudbury. We have a lot of good businesses. We've got a lot of, Sudbury is a very powerful and very strong-minded community. We have a lot of people that love to do business in Sudbury, but we can't. We can't do it. It's impossible the way it's running now. It's impossible. Okay, so let's do change. That's what we need. Change.
So we'll allow you time to rebuttal if you want. Would anybody like to rebuttal anything that's been said? You can go in any order you want, so whoever's up here first, go ahead, Littlin.
Well, I wanted 3 years to put a freeze on the development charges. We've had meetings with the developers, we had open sessions, they came to council. I've met with them, with the Builders Association, I've met with individual developers, and they're not selling homes. Because by the time that they pay the development charges and the fees and everything, they can't afford it.
Okay.
And I'd like to add also, we need to be more open, I think, with staff. We have excellent staff, but we need to have a culture of change. We really need to work closely with our residents, the developers, and the business people to really understand their issues and to help them build whatever they want to build, to be flexible. Not say no right off the bat, but meet with the people and be flexible so that we can really understand the issues that that they're not being able to develop.
Thank you. Frank Paul, anybody else want to add anything? Go ahead.
Madam Exec said it right on the nose. A freeze. A freeze is not enough. It's not enough for these builders. It's too expensive right now. They cannot afford to build these homes if it's only a freeze, okay? Get rid of it, and get rid of it soon before it's too late, because there's already businesses that are leaving and going south. Okay, we had one in the paper not too long ago, he's leaving. He's tired of it, okay? So that's all I have to say.
Definitely a freeze for 2 years now, that's what we have right now. And I think that the new council really has to reevaluate these development charges to see if they're having our businesses and our developers leaving the area. And I figure that when you have development, you're having assessment. You're getting tax money. And why should we stop our developers and our businesses from developing? We really need them because they're paying taxes, they're creating jobs for our young people. A lot of our young people are leaving the community, and we don't want them to leave.
Frank, anything to add?
Well, development fees do pay for a lot of, the staff at City Hall. But unfortunately, they've gotten so expensive that businesses can't afford to do business here. I was speaking with somebody who is pretty reliable. He was talking about a company that had the exact same business, one in North Bay, one in Sudbury, second floor, had to do rentals, had to do whatever, pretty well exactly the same thing. In North Bay it cost $12,000, in Sudbury it cost $112,000 after everything was said and done. So that's one example. It may be, I may be off by $2, but the point is businesses are moving out of town because it's gotten way too expensive here in Sudbury. So the new council definitely has to have this as a priority and look at these fees.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Second question, this begins with you, Frank. Based on the services that are currently provided, what are the strategies you would implement to increase the value of our tax dollar? Let me reread the question. So based on the services that are currently provided, what are the strategies you would implement to increase the value of our tax dollar?
I'm not exactly sure on the question. All services in the community?
Based on the services that are currently provided,
Okay.
what kind of strategy would you have to implement to increase the value of our tax dollar?
Well, every tax dollar that I pay or that you pay should be spent wisely, and we should be accountable when we're on council. We should be forthcoming. We should let people know where that money's going to go, and we should be open and honest if they want to find out where that money's gone. Every tax dollar. Now, the services that we have a lot of great services. I was doing some door-to-door in the West End yesterday, and I'm talking to some really nice couple, an engineer, retired engineer. He says, yeah, we've got great bus service. It comes right here. The snow removal is really good. He had one beef. The park needed some upgrading. But overall, he said services are great. So, the city does do a lot of good things. But you hear a lot of other situations where, they dug that street up last year. They're digging it up again this year. There are things that people kind of scratch their head and they go like, why is that happening? And unfortunately, the public image that people have of the city and the workers is not positive. And again, I keep coming back to this. This comes from the leadership. If we have good leadership and good council, it trickles down to staff. We empower them, we make them feel important and valuable and that they are working for the community. Everybody works harder, and you're thinking and you're on the same page. And I think every tax dollar can be spent more effectively. Again, can't fix everything all at once, can't make everybody happy all the time, but I think if those things are done, it really improves things. And if you give us 4 years to do that, I'm sure we can come along with that.
Thank you. What?
Well, our services are pretty good in Sudbury. We have issues with the Sunday bus schedule, that. And, if you increase the bus schedule, well, you have to increase spending of the money, right? The problem is waste. We have a lot of waste in Sudbury. If a department can actually succeed in running by itself and has extra money in their account at the end of the 2 years, they need to spend it. Why? Why couldn't they take that money and put it in a reserve somewhere? Because this is what happens, is that if you get a certain amount of money to run for the year, and the next year you need a little bit more, well, you can't get it, because you didn't spend it all last year. That makes no sense. If we could stop that, the waste of our taxpayers' money. Me, I find taxpayers' money, lots of times I get upset over this, I find it's wasted money. Because the government seems that, or whoever's in power seems like, it's only taxpayers' money. Let's do this, let's do that, let's waste it here, let's do it there. We care about that. But why? Why not actually take every single penny and use it wisely? Stop digging this road 4 or 5 times. You forgot to put a wire in there. Well, gotta dig the whole street again, put the wire, that just cost the city of Sudbury $1 million, just like that. You know, because somebody made a mistake somewhere. Why make these mistakes? You know, be vigilant, understand what's going on, and make sure that you do it properly the first time, not 10, 20, 30 times.
Thank you.